just such a cool car. Hop in. You want to go on a date?
That's the first.
Denwerks, and I'm here today with this beautiful 72 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. If you haven't seen me before, that's because I've never sold anything on Bring a Trailer. This is my first car, and if the name Denwerks is familiar to you, I am the other half of Denwerks Vintage Cars, so you may have seen my husband Jason, whose username is Denwerks, and he's been around, and I've been around cars for many years. This Lincoln Mark IV is my first ever pick, and the first car that I ever saw, purchased, negotiated, and then got ready for sale on Bring a Trailer. And of course we have Stanley. He couldn't stand to not be part of the show, so he's here too. So I have 5 cars that I'm going to be selling on Bring a Trailer. This is the first one of those 5, so I am really excited about what I have coming up, and excited to walk around this car with you and show you. And if you haven't seen, Jason and I have a podcast called No Reserve that we talk about just a lot of different things. We talk about cars, we talk about marriage, we talk about our life with Denwerks, small business ownership, and our family, our donkeys, all kinds of things. So take a listen to that. And we also hang out on Instagram a lot, so you can find us there at Denwerks Vintage Cars too. So now let's take a look at this beautiful Lincoln Mark IV. So as I said, 1972 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. Original color was maroon. It has been resprayed at one point, but the family couldn't remember when. And the big thing about this car, I bought it from the original owners. It's got a great story with it, because in 1972, they owned a trucking company called Stall Cup Trucking in Coos Bay, Oregon, and they bought it from Dick Niles Ford. And the idea was that they bought it for their salesmen to drive. So 1972, this was the luxury car to drive. And so they buy this car, they give it to the salesman, and the salesman doesn't like it. And I cannot imagine how he would rather have driven his truck, but he wanted to drive his truck. So Mr. Stallcup gave it to his wife, and she ended up driving this car all through the years. So until she passed away a few years ago, and then I bought it from the family. So we're going to look at a bunch of documentation, and as you can see, the paint is in really nice condition. Like I said, it's been resprayed at some point, but the family couldn't remember when. It's got really nice trim on the car. It has the original hubcaps on it, and we added the white walls to the car. They're brand new, so they're P235/75s, and so those are all the way around, and I think the white walls just set it off really nice for this year. Walking down the side, you can see that there's no rust, no bubbles, extremely clean along the bottom, and that's one of the things that impressed me about the car when I saw it. The Stallcup family told me that it had been garaged or carported for most of its life. And then just taking a look at the top while we're here, this vinyl is amazing. There's no bubbles in it, there's no holes, there's no rips. It's nice and bright, and you'll see that as we walk around the car. And fun fact, this car has the opera windows, which in 1972 was an option, and these were so popular that they became standard on all of the future Lincoln Continentals. So in 72, this was an add-on edition. And then of course we have the rear tire, same original hubcap. You can see the wheel lip molding looks really nice. There's a little bit of checking on it, but it's pretty minor. For the age, it's in pretty immaculate condition. And then again, no rust, no issues to speak of. And then coming around to the back, hang on, I need to get the keys so I can open the trunk. Thank you, Stanley, for standing in. So coming around to the back, this just has the classic Lincoln, the Continental letters on it. I absolutely love this, and this is just an iconic part of the Lincolns from the 70s. So all of the letters are there, the emblem's in really good shape. You can see there's a little bit of checking here on the rear bumper just from the exhaust. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. And there's a little issue right here with the trim, but you don't even really, it's pretty minor. So back looks good. The lights look in good shape. This side, the bumper doesn't have the checking that it has on the other side. It's got the Mark IV emblem. And then, if you know Lincolns at all, this is how you open the trunk. And I have a surprise in the trunk. Okay, first of all, this trunk is killer. It's got, this carpet is in great shape. It's got the spare tire in there. And it's got the cover for it, which is really nice. It has the jack behind it, so that's great too. And this I love. It's got this jack usage sticker on it. And then you can see here, there's no evidence of, you know, any wrecks. There's nothing. It's just nice and clean. Just a great car. And same thing in here. You can see that it's nice and clean. There's no evidence of damage, wrecks, anything like that. The seal looks good. It looks good all the way around. And then we have the documentation for this car. So starts the original plates from 1972, which is just, I think those are a great thing to add. It's just a nice addition to have with the car. And then I've got a whole packet of stuff. So this is a Lincoln Continental Mark IV brochure, 2 owner cards from Stall Cup Trucking Company through time, the registrations from 1973 until 1994, and they skip years. They did a little change in Oregon, so you've got the full set until 1994, and then I don't think it was driven much past then because she got older, and so it was just parked most of the time. This is my favorite, the original invoice, $8,412 in 1972, which, as we all know, that was a lot of money back in the day. And so it shows all the options that were on the car, which is great. So we've got that. We've got a consumer information page that came with the car. We've got a spring unit caution sticker, or a little pamphlet, a motor oil, Ford motor oil pamphlet, window sticker. So the original window, 9640 something. The rest of it is worn off, but it shows it's from Dick Niles Ford. So this is a really nice piece to have with this car. Warranty facts, Stall Cup Trucking. The bag that came with it. The Portland and Washington maps were in this, so I'm going to include them because we're from Oregon. And so if you want to do any touring around, you can. And then you've got like this is like a spec sheet for the car. So it's got a bunch of different emission specs and all different kinds of information. Paint chip. And this car was maroon in the day, and it's still maroon now. Lincoln Mercury, another brochure. And this one's really cool because this one says Dick Niles Lincoln Mercury, and this is probably the salesman who helped him. It was actually bought on 3/28/72, and so it's kind of cool because this was actually with the car, as was the owner's manual. And then the last thing, which was kind of underneath here, was this big brochure packet. So you've got just a ton of paperwork with this car. So there's that. And if that's not enough, let's look at the other side. So this side is in really good condition as well. You've got the same thing, the new tires that we put on, original hubcaps. You can see there's no rust, there's no evidence of damage. The wheel lip molding is in good shape. The Opera window's in good shape. Again, on this side, the vinyl. And then across the back, the vinyl is really nice too, which is a typical place where that can be a tough area. So that's in good shape. The door looks nice. It's nice and straight. You can see it's real clean on the bottom. The appearance of this car is just amazing. And then the paint's really nice and straight. This is the antenna. It does work. I'll show you that in a minute. And then this wheel lip molding has a little ding in it right here. And it's a little worn right down here. And again, original hubcap in great condition. And coming back around to the front, we have the grille. We've got the grille of this car, and these grills are just amazing. Now, the one thing about this grille, the emblem is a little bit worn out. It's got some cracking behind it. I didn't want to mess with it because I didn't want to mess it up, but that is something that could be changed. And then of course you've got the hood ornament, iconic, and the Continental emblem right there. And so now we're gonna start it and we're gonna show you the lights, the blinkers, and all the good stuff. So let's take a look at marker lights. So you can see we've got left and right and lights. And that's the brights that are on. And there's regular, and you can see that it's vacuum, how those lights come on and off, and that both of those work really, really well. Yeah, you can see they come up and down at the same time. And then show me blinkers. So we've got left blinker, we have right blinker, and then put up the antenna so they can see that. It's in the middle. It's kind of down low. Antenna goes up, which I think is just so awesome. Very nice. And then I'm going to come around to the back. Oh yes, the wipers. Wipers work. Oh, and he's not going to like this. The horn. We're going to say hi to Jason.
Hello.
Because I need you to show the windows.
Oh, yeah.
So windows, they're automatic and they work.
It's so funny to be on the other side.
They're on the door.
I was using the rear tilt on the seat.
That's what I was doing earlier. So driver's window comes up and down nice and smooth. Passenger window, nice and smooth.
Like
and
my
then
shirt.
Bring a trailer representing. And then the back windows are these slide windows, and they both work well too. The passenger side one is a little bit sticky, but you can see that it works, and that's as far as they go back. They just go back about halfway. And then I'm going to come around to the back. This car has so many options. I'm going to show you the tilt seats as well. So show me lights. So we've got left, we have right, and then blinkers. We have left and right, and then go ahead and do reverse. So reverse lights do not work on the car. You can see that the license plate light up there does work. So we'll take a look at the reverse lights and see if we can see what's going on with them. I'm not sure if we can get them working, we will, but they don't presently work at this moment. So that's it for the exterior walk around, except for the rev up. Jason's reminding me about the rev. Okay. Are you gonna do it again? You gotta do it again, because I was talking. And let me tell you, when we take this car for a drive, it drives like a dream too. So this is great car. This is something that is gonna make such a happy home. So stay tuned and we'll go check out some more stuff. Remember the rim blow steering wheel? Hey, welcome back. We're gonna look at the interior of this car. It is beautiful, like beautiful. So, as we know, the car's maroon. There are no buttons missing. There's no rips. There's no tears in it. It is a little faded with sun. You can see in some areas where, like on the edges, it's a little more maroon, but it is all pretty consistent in color, so I don't think it takes away from anything in the car. Yeah, you've got you can either have your armrest down, or if you're on a date and you want your date to sit next to you, you've got a center seat belt right there, so you can be cuddled up close, and your wife, girlfriend, partner already said you could buy this car. Just
what
so
about
you know.
Bulldog?
Bulldog, anyone, cat, I don't know. So features on this car, there are so many because it was the car in the day. So let's start with the door panel. You can see it's in good shape. There are a couple of cracks right here. It doesn't take away anything from the door, and it's on there nice and secure. The mirror does work. It's an electric mirror, and the rear tilt on this seat doesn't work on the driver's side. All the other functions work. The front tilt, the seat goes forward and back. We already showed you the mirrors and the window locks. You've got climate, no AC. The AC doesn't work. There is AC in the car, but it doesn't work. So you've got that here. The heat does work. It does take a little while to warm up, but it does work because I've tried it out. And you've got the Cartier clock. That clock doesn't work. Fuel gauge does. Speedometer works. And actually, I was out today in this car, and I passed by one of those police checkers where they have the speedometer on the side, and it was right on. So it appears to me that it's working fine. So we'll show you that when we drive. The light, as far as the lights go, the low fuel light does work. I've seen that. The door ajar doesn't work, and I don't know about anything else because there hasn't been any issues with the car. So I have no clue. And the fasten seatbelt sign doesn't work. And then you can see the steering wheel. It's got, what's it called?
A rim blow.
A rim blow steering wheel. So anywhere you push, you're honking the horn, which is just so cool. And you've got a little crack right here in the steering wheel. I don't think it takes away. And you've got tilt, and that works just fine too. AM radio and 8-track. And the 8-track doesn't appear to be working. I tried a couple tapes, and it could have been my tapes, but that doesn't appear to be working. The vents are in good shape. There's one that's a little off. It's a little broken. I didn't want to mess around with that too much because I didn't want to bust it. So, and then the dash is in excellent shape. It's just, there's no cracks, no rips, nothing like that. And then when you open the door, there's a little hole right here. I don't know, I have no idea what it's from, so I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks like a burn mark, but there is no evidence in this car to me that would indicate, you know, smoking or anything like that. So I have no clue.
And it's kind of funny. I was just gonna say, I just noticed this when you shut the door.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shut it. It's hidden by the dash.
Well, actually, you know
See
what's
that?
funny? Yeah, it's hidden by the dash, and there's a little mark on the other side, so it's almost like something was wedged in there. I have no clue, but
Yeah, it could be.
yeah. So, and then on the other side, I'm gonna come around and show you this door panel. So this door panel, same thing. There's a crack in it right here. Doesn't take away from anything from the functionality. The rear tilt and the front tilt work on the passenger seat. The seat does go forward and back. And then of course we showed you windows earlier, and the door panel itself is in really good shape other than those couple little cracks in it. And then there's a little bit of wear right here on the door panel as well, so that does kind of indicate something. And if you look inside these doors, you can see how clean they are. It's got the Mark IV emblem, little broken right there. And then you've got the Mark IV sticker inside this door. And then we'll walk around the other side and then show you the VIN sticker on the other side as well. Oh, back seat. This car is date car. So your back seat and your front seat are big. And you can see the condition of these seats. I mean, this is just beautiful. And the back seat, again, there's no rips, no tears. All of the vinyl is there. I mean, all of the leather is there. The headliner is in really good condition. We've got the dome light is on. It's got a couple little marks right here. But other than that, it's in really, really good shape. And to top it off, floor mats in this car are original. So they have the 1972 part number on the floor mat. And so they're a little faded, but in awesome shape. And we'll come around to the other side. And show you on this side, the door panel as well, and the interior is in really good shape. There's no evidence of wear. You've got your door tag right here. You've got a little bobble here. It's just a little bit broken on the inside. You couldn't really see that when the door is shut very much, but it is a little bit broken. And then back seat, same thing on this side. It's in great shape. The condition of the leather is amazing and just really, really nice overall. And it's got a few little marks right here, but otherwise, I mean, it's nearly perfect condition. They just took exceptional care of this car. And then I don't know if you can get in and see this, the pedals in this car. If you can see how minimally worn they are, the odometer is showing 91,639 miles right here. It's a little, hopefully you can see that. But those pedals are in such good shape that I don't know if it has 91,000 miles on it, but it certainly indicates low usage for sure. So I think that's about it for interior features of the car. Again, just a good solid ride, and we're gonna you'll see some driving videos as well, and we'll have a good time in it so you can go along with us as we cruise. Okay, now, not only is this a beautiful car outside and on the interior, but let's look at under the hood so you can see how it functions. So the hood latch is under the bumper, so I just popped the hood. Oh, I did want to mention something. The hood hinge on this side is a little weak, so you can see that it sticks up a little bit, and when you close the hood you do have to shift it over just a little bit. It's just kind of the way it is. It's a big hood and it's old, and so but it's not bad. It doesn't detract, I don't think, from the look of the car. So can you help me get this up, because I need two hands.
Push down just a little bit.
Okay.
And then, yeah, there you go.
There we go. It's a little bit heavy because it's a large hood. Okay, this is so cool. The light works. And I know that's a minor thing, but I just think that's amazing that the light works in this thing. And so let's take a look. We have this monster 460 engine. It is numbers matching with the car. It's the original motor. We've got a tag right here that shows that. We did several things to make sure that this car was ready to rock. It was already running good, but we changed out all the fluids. We replaced 2 power steering hoses. It's got a Holley 4-barrel carburetor in it, and you'll see pictures of that in the gallery. We took pictures of it so that you could see it. We changed the intake manifold, put on new valve cover gaskets. We checked the brakes, flushed all the fluids in the brakes, and then we changed the gear oil. So that's good to go. And then, am I missing anything in that list?
I think you said that we did wheel cylinders.
Wheel cylinders.
And service the transmission.
Yeah, and service the transmission. So we just gave this car a good once over. Like I said, it was already driving really well, but we got everything all good to go. And look around here, you can see no evidence of accidents, no evidence of damage. You've got the Continental Mark IV tag right here. You've got this caution fan sticker in it, the 460 sticker. This side looks really, really good. No evidence of wrecks, damage, anything underneath this hood. Even back here, everything looks real nice and clean.
Also, it does have AC, and you said it didn't work.
Yeah.
But it is all hooked up. Mm-hmm. And so it's not charged. It worked a while back, mm-hmm. but it hasn't worked for now, so it may need to be charged or something.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say too, is Leslie, I didn't direct very much of this. I mean, I know some of the terminology, but Leslie directed with our mechanic all the work on this, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I helped a little bit, but she's been doing an awesome job.
Yeah, and I'm learning a lot of the terminology, so I know what things are, but sometimes just learning the terminology of it is a little tricky. So go ahead and start it up so we can hear this baby run. Purrs like a kitten. Super nice car. You see it turns really nice. Very nice and smooth. Wait until you go on the drive in this thing. You're going to be impressed for sure. So I think that's it for under the hood. I wanted to show you just a couple of things. We have the car off right now because I talked about these lights earlier and saying, oh, I'm not sure if they work, but I noticed something. So when you turn the key on without the car on, you can see the alternator and oil pressure light up, which tells you that the lights themselves work. So the fact that I've never seen them indicates that the lights work, but there's nothing wrong with it. And then you'll see when I start it, the temperature light lit up there, and so that works as well. And then we know the low fuel light works, the door ajar light, I haven't seen that come on, nor the fasten seat belt. We showed you the wipers and washers already, and we're gonna take this thing for a drive. So let's go. So also, it's approaching dark right now, so I'm gonna turn on the lights. So, and you can see the dash lights work, the dome light works. There's a passenger seat light that works as well. So it's just now kind of dusk time, so you can't see the dash lights very well unless I have that dome light on, but you can see that those do work, which is a fantastic feature. So let's drive. We're heading out in the country. And radio. So I said the radio worked. Here we go. Listen to music. Okay, so AM radio works. Like I said, I put a couple 8-track tapes in it. I couldn't, it sounded like it wanted to play, but could never get it to work. So that might be something that you might want to fool around with. I have no idea. But let me tell you, I believe that most people have a memory of riding around in a 70s Lincoln Continental at some point, and this car drives exactly like what you remember. It floats down the road. In fact, when I bought it, like Jason told you earlier, I went and looked at the car by myself, negotiated, purchased it, and then he went back with me the next day so I could drive it home, and he had not seen it at all and until the deal was already done. So we pick up the car, and we were about 90 minutes from our house to get home, and I cruised home going 70 on the freeway all the way home. No issues, no problems. It just floats. So it drove like a dream. And the funny thing is, on that day, I had probably 3 people honking and waving at me. A guy actually tried to pull me over on the freeway. It was a warm day, so I had the windows down. He wanted me to pull over because he wanted to buy the car for me that very day. So this car is a looker. Like, you just cannot replace the 72 style of this car. And also, one more thing about the dash. So you can see that the speedometer is working. The fuel gauge does work. We put fuel in it the other day, and that seemed to work just fine as well. The horn, it's that rim blow horn. The heat works. You can hear that go on and off. The blinkers, here's the left, here's the right, and then bright lights. The indicator is down on or the button for the brights is down on the floor, and you saw both of those work. And we're gonna step on the brakes and see how she stops. She wants to go real straight. There's not a lot of wobble. Tiny bit to the right, but not a heck of a lot. No, there's no chattering in the brakes. There's nothing going on there.
You like driving this car?
I love driving this car. This car is just so fun. Like, someone seriously needs to buy it. And you know what? I said for the guys that their girlfriend, wife, partner said they could buy this car. Actually, I should be talking to the ladies. Like, ladies, just buy this car, because this is like just such a cool car that you want to have.
I think this is my cue to get out.
It's your cue to get out.
You're gonna do drive around.
Oh yeah, I am gonna do drive around.
So this is a lady's car, not mine.
Hop out.
All right.
It's time to let this baby shine. on Bring a Trailer, also known as Mrs. Denwerks, and we're here today. We're going to walk underneath this 72 Lincoln. Believe it or not, this is my first time ever going over the underneath of a car. I did look at the underneath of this car when I bought it and noticed it looked pretty good. So I was excited to get it on the lift and see what the condition is. And Jason is behind the camera today, and he may prompt me a little bit because there's a lot to learn. And so this is my first time. And so we're going to take a look and see how nice this Lincoln looks underneath.
Yeah.
So we're going to start from front to back and give you a good look at it. We're going to start behind the headlights. You can see looks in good shape here. No cracking, no damage, nothing like that. The other side looks the same. Really good condition back there. Nothing like that. It's got the original engine in it. It does have, you know, a little bit of seepage, nothing that leaks on the floor or anything like that. Just typical stuff of the engine's age. We did replace 2 power steering hoses that were leaky, so you see a little bit of seepage here. It's just from that where it kind of ran down, but it's in good shape now because we took care of it. And tires, these are 2020 date code. Where am I? There I am. 2020 date code. We put these on, put some white walls on. They're fairly new. You can still even see some of the little knobbies on it. So these tires have plenty of miles left in them. We serviced the transmission and replaced the fluids in that. Was there something else?
Just the pan gasket and painted the gasket.
Yeah, so that looks nice and updated for you. So that's all done. And then what I said before, you'll notice the floors under this thing are pretty good. No holes, no repairs, nothing like that. Just pretty solid. And it's the same on the other side as well. You can see they just look in good shape. Jason, when I went to go buy this car, this is the first classic car I bought really on my own. I crawled underneath it and checked out what I could see, and I thought it looked pretty good. So that was a nice find, and when I was able to show Jason that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first words were like, I think I can eat off of them. So we're gonna eat lunch off these afterwards.
I don't think gravity helps you with that, but
No.
you could. You potentially, if you can
Yeah.
figure out a way, let me know. I'll eat with
sticky
you.
rice.
Yeah. And then take a look at the rockers here. The drains are clean, which is always helpful. That saved this car since 1972. You can see the original spot welds here. So that's kind of cool. And then same thing on the other side over here. The drains are clean. Those original spot welds have held up. The frame is in good condition. I forgot to talk about that back here, but the frame's in good condition. And then we get back to the rear end. So the rear end, you know, pretty typical. There's no play in it. Jason was kind of moving it there so you can see that it's in good shape as well. So there's that. And then we replaced the master cylinders on the brakes here, and then we did take some pictures of these, so you'll see pictures of that with the wheels and tires off. Here's the other one that we did, and then we replaced the fluids in the front on the brakes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we flushed the system out.
So system has been flushed, and the new master cylinders. The gas tank in great condition, no holes, no leaking, nothing like that. And this car is kind of fun because you put in the gas from the license plate from back in the day. That was a little fun fact. New fuel sending unit was put in at some point here. Nothing's leaking or anything. The muffler looks pretty good. It's got just a little bit of wear right here. There may be some pinholes, but it doesn't make any noise. Everything's, you know, seems to be running just fine. The shocks here, sometimes we'll replace those if they need it. These ones are in pretty good shape and the car does ride really nice. floats down the road, so we didn't do that. And then finally, taking a look at, I forgot the name.
Trunk drop off.
The trunk drop off, thank you. I knew it was trunk something. The trunk drop off looks really good. There's no damage here. Nothing like that. And then on the other side, same thing. That looks good. There you go. And then behind the back bumper, of course, no damage, no cracking. Just a good solid bumper. So there you go. That's your tour of the 1972 Lincoln. It's on no reserve auction. Don't wait to get it in bid, and make sure you say hi when you do. All right, thanks. Oh, I know what you want. The original invoice from Dick Niles Ford. Yes, that's it. You found it. Good job. And also the paint chip for the car. Can you find the color of the 72? No, it's not white.